Before this video ends, you'll discover whether you would grow into one of the most feared soldiers in the ancient world, or never survive long enough to hold a shield. Your life would not belong only to your family. From the moment you were born, it would belong to Sparta. You open your eyes nearly 2,500 years ago in the city-state of Sparta in southern Greece. Unlike many children in the ancient world, your future is already being shaped by the laws of your city. Sparta believes that strong citizens create a strong state, and every new child is seen as part of that mission. If you are born a boy, your family celebrates, but they also understand that raising you will never be entirely their choice. If you are born a girl, your life will be different, yet you are still expected to become strong because one day you may raise the next generation of Spartan citizens. In Sparta, both boys and girls are expected to contribute to the survival of the city. Soon after your birth, you're examined by older members of the community. Ancient writers claim that babies judged too weak might be abandoned, although historians still debate how often this actually happened. Whatever the truth, one message is clear: Sparta values strength above almost everything else. Your earliest years are spent at home with your mother. She teaches you discipline, respect, and simple habits that every Spartan child must learn. Life is not luxurious. Expensive clothing, rich food, and unnecessary comforts are discouraged because the people around you believe hardship builds character. At the age of 7, everything changes. You leave your family and enter the Agoge, Sparta's famous education and training system. From now on, the city becomes your teacher. The friendships you build here may last your entire life, but so will the lessons of obedience and endurance. Your days begin before sunrise. You train your body until your muscles ache. You run across rough ground without shoes. You wrestle, throw spears, and learn to fight in formation. Every exercise teaches the same lesson. A Spartan never fights for himself. He fights beside the man standing next to him. Education is not only about combat. You also learn songs, poetry, and short, direct ways of speaking. Spartans admire people who say much with very few words. Talking too much is seen as a weakness. Actions matter more than promises. Food is never plentiful. Meals are simple, and hunger is common. Ancient sources even describe boys being encouraged to steal food, not because stealing itself was admired, but because cleverness and survival were considered valuable. Historians still debate exactly how this worked, but life in the Agoge was certainly designed to test both body and mind. As you grow older, the training becomes even harder. You learn to ignore pain, cold, and exhaustion. Failure brings punishment, while success earns respect rather than praise. Your instructors believe that comfort makes people weak, and weakness could one day cost the city its survival. Meanwhile, if you were born a Spartan girl, your childhood would look different from that of most girls in ancient Greece. You would remain with your family, but you would also exercise, run, wrestle, and build physical strength. Many Greek visitors were surprised to see Spartan women enjoying freedoms that were uncommon elsewhere. They could own property, manage households, and speak more openly in public than many of their neighbors. By your late teenage years, childhood feels far behind you. If you are a young man, military service now dominates your life. You continue training with older soldiers who expect discipline in every movement. Every shield, every spear, and every command reminds you that your survival depends on the men fighting beside you. You eventually become a full member of a military dining group known as the Sycedia. Every day, you eat with the same companions who may one day stand beside you in battle. These shared meals are more than tradition. They strengthen loyalty and remind everyone that no Spartan stands alone. Beyond the city walls, another reality exists. Much of Sparta's farming is done by the helots, a conquered population forced to work the land. Their labor provides food that allows Spartan citizens to spend so much of their lives preparing for war. Their relationship is tense, and the Spartans constantly fear rebellion. Even in times of peace, the possibility of conflict never feels far away. Eventually, your training is tested in real life. You may march with your fellow soldiers across rocky hills beneath the hot Greek sun. Standing shoulder to shoulder in the phalanx, your shield protects not only yourself, but also the warrior beside you. Courage is important, but discipline is what keeps the line from breaking. Victory brings honor, but it never guarantees safety. Ancient warfare is brutal. Disease, wounds, and exhaustion can end a life just as quickly as an enemy spear. Every campaign reminds you that survival often depends as much on luck as on skill. If you return home, life continues with familiar routines. Training never truly ends. Even as an adult, physical fitness, discipline, and public duty remain central to your identity. Your family grows, and one day you watch your own children begin the same demanding path that shaped your life. As the years pass, you notice changes around you. Sparta is no longer as powerful as it once seemed. Rival Greek city-states grow stronger, and old victories become distant memories. After major defeats, especially against Thebes, Sparta slowly loses the dominance that once made its name famous throughout Greece. You grow old in a city that is changing. The fearless confidence of your youth has faded into stories told beside evening meals. Younger generations still respect the traditions of Sparta, but the world beyond your borders is becoming different. No city, no matter how powerful, remains unchanged forever. When your life finally comes to an end, you leave behind no grand palace, no mountain of gold, and perhaps no famous statue bearing your name. Instead, your legacy is something less visible. It lives in discipline, loyalty, sacrifice, and the belief that a community can ask extraordinary things of ordinary people. Today, thousands of years later, the city of Sparta is quiet compared to its legendary past. Yet its story still echoes around the world. Athletes speak about Spartan discipline. Soldiers study Spartan courage. Writers and filmmakers continue to imagine what life there really was like. Some legends have grown larger than history itself, while historians continue separating myth from fact. If you had been born in Sparta, you might never have become famous. You would simply have lived the life expected of an ordinary citizen, carrying responsibilities that began before you could even understand them. And perhaps that's the most remarkable part of Sparta's story. Its greatest legend was never just its warriors. It was an entire society built around the idea that the strength of one person meant nothing without the strength of everyone.